Have you ever just been having a bad day? Maybe you got a bad grade on a test. Maybe work is super stressful. Maybe your crush ghosted you. Whatever it is that happened throughout your day, you were pushed to the brink of insanity and lashed out on yourself and or those around you. You, my friend, experienced something we like to call a crash out. If you don't know this term already, even though you probably do, it's all over TikTok. It's to get really mad or upset, basically just go crazy. In today's video, we are discussing the greatest and most famous crash outs of all time. Whether it was one instance or many, these individuals need some help. Let's get into it. O.J. Simpson. Orange juice was at the top of the world in the 70s, widely regarded as one of the best running backs in NFL history. However, that public perception changed drastically in the summer of 1994 when his ex-wife was found stabbed to death along with one other individual. The first suspect to be investigated was OJ. You're assumed innocent until proven guilty unless you start a world-famous police chase with LAPD in your white Bronco like you have 5 stars in GTA. If you know the story, OJ was somehow found not guilty. If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit, I guess, and disappeared from the public light. But not really. The crash out continued. He wrote a book talking about what he would do if he were to kill his ex-wife and eventually serve 9 years in prison for separate crimes.
I've never personally shaken hands with a murderer. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
All in all, just a tremendous fall from grace. He's the definition of a crash out. It's great to start with the bang. Aaron Hernandez. Let's stay in the NFL for a second and talk about Aaron, who was destined for NFL stardom like OJ. Hernandez was young when he hit his tipping point, even though people always knew that there was something a little wrong with him.
We get away with saying a lot of offensive and disturbing things, but what Aaron was saying, it deviated far off the norm of just locker room bull. He would rage out on players, people.
It all came to fruition when he shot and killed one of his friends in 2013. You really can't get much worse than that. Not too much else to explain. He was charged with first-degree murder, sentenced to life in prison, passed away sadly in prison in 2017. Something about these NFL crash outs and murder, they go together like Taco Bell and diarrhea. Anakin Skywalker. Skywalker had the potential to be one of the greats. He was already building an elite resume and had Natalie Portman around his fingers. What else could a man ask for? Apparently, it wasn't enough, or it felt too good to be true. He fell to the dark side, murdered a bunch of kids, cut off his girl, and fought his mentor to the death, which resulted in him becoming Darth Vader, the face of evil for decades to come.
You were the chosen one!
When you think of wasted potential, Anakin Skywalker has to be at the top of your list. Patrick Bateman. Here's another case of wasted potential in the fictional realm.
Let's see Paul Allen's card.
The face of the Sigma community was a young, wealthy, powerful, and good-looking cat that had prime Reese Witherspoon ready to wife up. He was a bit of a nutcase, and that all culminated to a serial murder spree of homeless dudes and hookers that would make Ted Bundy proud. And then after all of that happened, you don't even know if he actually committed those crimes or if he was just imagining those crimes in his dreams like a psycho.
But that's simply not possible, and I don't find this funny anymore.
It never was supposed to be.
Either way, something's very wrong with this guy. Couldn't handle the 9-to-5 life and got burnt out, I guess. P. Diddy. I hope you didn't think we were going to get through this list without talking about the diddler.
Who turned off the lights?
It's freak time.
P. Diddy was at the top of the music game, putting out heat and discovering some of your favorite artists back in the day. He's had some controversies stir up throughout the years, but nothing was as bad as recent findings of him being a human trafficker of women and men, being a predator towards minors, and supposedly having sexual relations with Meek Mill and Usher, among others. You know it's bad when you used to have the keys to New York City, used to have a day in Miami named after you, and now when people describe sus acts, they use your name. No Diddy. Honorable mention to R. Kelly, who should be mentioned as well for a similar crash out story and tendencies. Bill Cosby. We're all way too young to remember this, but apparently this dude used to be hilarious and a positive figure in the world. People called him America's dad, for goodness sake. But people like you and I that aren't geriatric know this face to be a world-famous creep, known for drugging girls, some underage, to take advantage of them. I'm sure it's probably even more, but it's been reported that this happened over 60 times. That's unbelievable and a very easy way to completely ruin your legacy. The Joker. In my opinion, the Joker is the greatest villain of all time, but it didn't always used to be like that. There are varying origin stories of the Joker. I feel like the consensus is that he's a failed comedian and regular family man that one day decided to become Gotham's worst nightmare.
Let's put a smile on that face.
From the Dark Knight antics of bank heists and extreme ultimatums, Joaquin Phoenix tomfoolery on the streets or TV, and even in the animated series, the Joker may have the greatest crash out tendencies of anyone in this list today, and all you have to do to know that is to listen to him laugh. Amber Heard. She's a little bit more of a wild card. She wasn't too big before her famous crash out, besides being in some DC movies, Pineapple Express, and more. But I thought she deserved it, and we need to be inclusive of men and women in this list. She famously was married to Johnny Depp, and after it was all over, accused him of physical and mental abuse, which she originally won a case for in a settlement. Then Depp couldn't stand for this and countersued for defamation. Amber looked like a joke throughout this entire trial, and no one believed her, and it even came out that she was the one that was being abusive in the relationship.
Mr. Depp lost the tip of his finger after you threw a bottle at him.
I didn't assault Johnny in Australia. I didn't assault Johnny ever. This is a man who tried to kill me.
Depp won the case, received millions, but ended up just donating it all to charity, so W Johnny Depp, and a great ending to see a fat L for Mrs. Crashout. World of T-shirts. Anyone on TikTok knows the legend of World of T-shirts.
In New York!
He started out as an average young kid looking to go viral with funny dances and jokes. However, he hit a very monumentous milestone for Americans, turning 21, and it all went downhill. Living in New York, there was alcohol and bars everywhere he looked. Every single night, this man was drinking until he went blind. There is even an account that tracks his BAC level, which would reach highs that could kill a normal person at times.
I'm an alcoholic.
No.
He can be found drunkenly maneuvering and screaming through the streets of New York. Some people don't even know if he has a place to live anymore.
You know, Josh!
This crash out is honestly just sad. I hope this kid gets some help. Do not be like this guy. Kanye West. It personally hurts to see the fall off of this man, truly one of the greatest of all time in the music industry, banger after banger for years. I feel like you have to be a little insane to reach the level that he's hit. There have been a handful of smaller crash out moments from Ye over the years.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
But nothing compares to recent Kanye, who they probably have locked up in some insane asylum on pills that will make him shut his mouth. He turned into a hardcore MAGA guy, anti-Semite, lashed out on Twitter over and over again, ran for president, and wanted to kill Pete Davidson. Not to mention the music is still okay, but definitely doesn't hit like it used to. As is a very common occurrence in this video, this man had it all and decided over and over again, I'm sick of it. It's time to crash out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We will get there one day. I promise you that. I'd love to have you be a part of that journey. Also, please feel free to comment below what you thought of my list of crash outs here today and who I might have missed. Also, I'll leave one of my latest YouTube videos beside me here if you want to keep this train rolling. But anyways, hope you have a blessed day. Goodbye now.